All right, so let's go over my May financials. I haven't uploaded a fifth week settlement because I figured I would just do this like at the end of the month or once I get everything for the end of the month and go over my monthly money, my monthly financials. Um, Instead of every week. I don't know. I may go back to every week. Just let me know what you want. I was gonna go live and do this live today, but apparently I didn't know that you had to verify your YouTube account with YouTube to go live, like when you turn live on or what live streams on. Yeah, I never did that because I've just never gone live. And yeah, it said, oh, it takes 24 to 48 hours to get verified. So can't go live on my channel until probably tomorrow or the next day. So anyway, guess I'll just record a video. Anyway. All right, so let's get into this. So May financials. What I have here, you can see I have net to truck. This is per day. This is what my truck made per day. Or I'm sorry, this is what I made. I do have access to some of the. So they didn't start until like my second or third week of May is whenever they started putting in showing the 100% of like what they're getting and then showing you the 68%. It's just more they're changing things. They wanted to make sure it's like, hey, you can see we're trying to be transparent about everything. So they're like, okay, this is what we get paid. Here's what we're paying you. So things are slowly maturing with this. Like, again, our company is new to having owner operators. I'm literally their first owner operator they signed on. I'm kind of the guinea pig for a lot of this stuff. So it's been frustrating. It's been very frustrating. Because there have been mistakes in my settlement. Either they overpaid me, underpaid me, stuff like that. It's been frustrating, but I was told, we're gonna have growing pains. They're just new to everything. We're trying to get people on board where we don't have everything on one person as far as going through settlements, filling out all the information and stuff like that. And it sucks because right now we're using just spreadsheets like Microsoft Excel to do all the settlements. Well, if somebody puts the wrong amount in the wrong cell, it screws up. It can mess up the entire day, which is what actually, unfortunately, which is what happened. Whenever they overpaid me or underpaid me, they put an amount in the wrong cell, and it caused the total amount to be wrong. What was it? If you watch my settlement videos, there was one day where I made $1,300. I would love to say that, hey, I made $1,300 that day. Unfortunately, it was more like 900. They overpaid me for 2 loads. They overpaid me by $200 because they were paying me 100% instead of the 68%, and it sucks. Like because anyway, we ended up going back and looking at all my settlements, and they have overpaid me by $1,200. So unfortunately, because it's $1,200, they are wanting me to, pay that back. And I could say, no, that's y'all's fault. Sorry, it's my money, which is kind of what I felt at first. But I don't know. It just, for me, what is it? My integrity. I don't know if it's integrity or just morals or whatever. It's like, I didn't actually earn that money, so it's not my money. They overpaid me. They made a mistake. I was told if it was a couple $100, it wouldn't be a big deal. they would just say, all right, whatever. But it's over $1,000, so it's kind of a big chunk, you know. So anyway, my previous settlement videos, there are some wrong information in those. So that's why I'm making this monthly one. All the stuff on this monthly one, I have corrected. I can't remember exactly which day it was. I want to say it's right here, the $992 on the 12th. I believe that was that day I made $1,300. So they overpaid me by $308 basically on that day. So I made $992 instead of $1,300. Stuff like that. It's, you know, I thought about, I'm like, okay, do I go back and take down those settlement videos, or do I, you know, it's like, I'm not trying to give out false information, but at the same time, it can be kind of confusing where it's like, oh, you went back, you took everything down. I don't know. So I figured I'd make this video, just kind of explain things. That's like on my settlement yesterday, they paid me. I went to Brunswick, Georgia, it was 76 loaded miles. And they paid me the same as if I went to Blunt Island here in Jacksonville, which is 12 miles. They paid me the same amount. So I emailed the operations manager this morning. I was like, hey man, you know, I had 2 issues with my settlement yesterday. Or I emailed them last night. Said, hey, I have 2 issues with my settlement. Here's issue number 1. It was for this day. I was underpaid. And then on this other one, they didn't show, it was a pump off and it was a split. And they didn't have, they just showed what they call the all-in rate. That's the freight, the fuel surcharge, pump fees, split fees, all that is just in one number. It's like, well, they're supposed to spread it out, as far as like they're supposed to show separately the fuel surcharge, pump fees, anything like that. So I said, hey man, you know, this wasn't split up. It's frustrating. I was very frustrated last night, but at the same time, he told me yesterday, he said, look, you know, if it was him doing it, it would all be right, but it's not. We have other people, because he can't sit there and go through. We have 26 owner operators right now. And unfortunately, he can't go through every single one of them. He just literally does not have the time. I mean, he's, what is it? He's an extremely busy person, you know, and he's the head over our chemical and transport, like fuel transport division and all that stuff. So, I've been around him. I've worked with him in the office and stuff like that. I don't want his job. I'm just saying. But the man's phone never stops ringing. But anyway, it's, you know, they're trying to work. They're trying to iron things out. They're trying to work everything out. So, you know, to get things right, because if they screw up, they will make it right. That's like on my last settlement, they had shorted me because billing hadn't sent in something. I don't know. They hadn't gotten paid yet for something, and it's already 2 weeks behind. So, you know, I didn't get paid for that. So I said, hey, well, that's not really fair. I did what I needed to do. You know, y'all had 2 weeks to do, you know, to send it to billing, to do whatever. So it's like, why am I being punished for, you know, someone else not doing their job? But anyway, they ended up making it right. They changed my ACH. They added the money that, you know, that was supposed to be there. So they made it right. You know, I can't complain. I mean, I can, but he fixed it. So, but anyway, it's me sitting here rambling on. It's frustrating. We are going through growing pains. We're new to owner operators, so there's going to be mistakes, but it's nothing. Luckily, it's nothing. It's like, it's not going to put me out of business. You know what I mean? It's, if I have a blowout tomorrow just because I was $200 short on a check, you know, it's not going to put me out of business. That's why it's important to have money saved up in your business. You know, I'm not saying, oh yeah, save up money in case the company you lease to makes mistakes. Yeah, you don't want to sit there and think that way. But you need money in your account. It's operating costs. Keep your truck running and keep your business going, no matter what happens. If the carrier makes mistakes, doesn't pay you right, whatever, Anyway, so we'll get into this. Enough rambling. So what my truck made, this is all right. So this net to truck, this is after my 68%. This is what I got paid. The fixed costs that I have here, that is my truck payment, plates, everything that comes out of my settlement, plus my bobtail insurance, that I pay like separately, cell phone, all that stuff, everything, all fixed expenses for my business are tied into that $95.25 a day. And then over here on fuel, all this is blank because this is what I just, that's the first week. That's what they took out for fuel. I used their fuel card that week. I used their fuel card this week. Actually, I know I did, but I think I'm missing. Great. I think I'm missing some damn fuel in here. But, no, that's why I filled up multiple. Okay, I was running a lot of local. That's why I filled up 3 times, like 3 days in a row right down here. Yeah, and because some of this stuff I may have filled up over here, but Pilot, when they email me my statement, it doesn't show until, I just put in the date when they email me my statement. So this is probably more like right here. And then, so anyway, so this is fuel. This is when I started getting fuel at Pilot and using my own card. Right here, miscellaneous expense. This is just any expenses that my truck has, other than fuel or anything. And this was an air leak I had on it was the airline going to my clutch, or the fan on the front of the engine. It was the airline going to that. The fitting was leaking air when I would turn my truck off. $38 for like a 15-minute fix. Let's see. Okay, and then I have total income. That's what I made for the day. So that's fixed. So that's net income minus fixed expenses, and then that's the total that I get. And then I have the empty and loaded miles that I drove for that day. So you can see, just kind of scrolling down here, fuel, and then total income. In some of these negative days, like this is a day off, so this $308 that was used for that's money taken out of my settlement. If I have fuel on a day that I wasn't running, then that's fuel that was deducted from my settlement. So I just put it on a day off. So it's like, because you can see on my day off, I'm negative $95. On this day off, just because of the fuel, I'm negative $758. But because on your days off, those fixed expenses don't stop. They're fixed expenses. They are always due, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, or whatever. It doesn't matter if you take time off. Just like if I was over the road, when I go home, if I go home for a week, that truck payment's still due. That lease payment's still due. That's whatever. You have payments, you have costs that are still due. A lot of people think, man, just because you're home from work, that payment stops. It doesn't. So anyway, so negative 25 or 95, all that. So some of these will show like negative amounts just because of how much I made that day, and then I got fuel that day or whatever, stuff like that. But so down here for the month of May, I ran a total of 33,496 empty miles, 2,774 loaded miles, for a total of 6,270. Net income. This is after all expenses, fuel, everything. Fixed expenses and fuel. So this is what I actually took home, was $9,500 for the month. And then I decided I'm going to start. I started paying myself. $600 a week, but I only pay myself once a month. So on the first of every month, I just transfer myself 600, or it's $600 a week. What is it? I'm paying, it's lump sum $2,600. That's what I thought it was. I had a brain fart, so I was like, screw it, just bring out the calculator. But so I pay myself a lump sum $2,600 on the first of every month. And then what I do is I just go ahead, I pay my car payment. On my personal side, I pay my car payment, insurance. Well, insurance will come out in the middle, but anyway, the money's in my account for it to come out. But yeah, I pay the majority of my bills, get them out of the way, and then what's left over is for the rest of the month, groceries, stuff like that, gas, whatever. But as far as my business, this is what this is what my business made. And then you subtract the $2,600. So what would that be? It'd be 75. So $6,900. So $6,900 after paying myself. That's what, for the month, that's what my business made. I guess it would be profit, because it's after all expenses, after paying myself, everything. So yeah, $6,900. And in my opinion, now I can make a lot more over the road. I think I've already said that. I can make a lot more over the road, especially in the market right now. That's for damn sure. I mean, I'm home every night, but it's not always, well, not actually home every night. I just came back from Savannah. I was in Savannah for 2 days, just staying in a hotel. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway, I was going to say, okay, so like $6,900 after all expenses, it's nothing to brag about. Like, honestly, it's not really anything to brag about. Like, because there's guys out there. I mean, hell, I know a few of them, watching them on YouTube, making, hell, they're probably taking home, after all expenses, they're probably taking home 10 to 15 grand a month, if not more, just because of how good the market is right now. But my biggest thing is I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. I mean, you see my videos, I put effort into them and stuff like that. I love hauling fuel. I really do. I think fuel in general is underpaid, but so is a lot of the trucking industry, in my opinion. But that's for a whole other video. But anyway, fair to go over that. At least my thing is like, hey, at least I can say I made a pretty decent profit. You know what I mean? $6,900 for the month. I mean, that's what, 1,500 to 1,800 take home, net or whatever, a week, something like that. So I don't know. I just figured I'd put this out here. It's, because I know I'm going to have some people be like, man, you ain't making nothing. And then other people are going to be like, okay, yeah, you're doing pretty good. But anyway, I just figured I'd throw that out there and go over it with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I try to respond to every comment. Yeah, I do try to respond to every comment that I get. And I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all later.